looking around Patrick Cantlay here in the 30s, Pat.
You love Patrick Henley. It's either Henley or Siwoo. Like, why wouldn't I go to Siwoo? Who's
I
playing
don't remember the last time I actually bet Cantlay, and yeah, I like died on the hill with the Ryder Cup stuff with him.
Yeah, but you bring him up every week to talk
about. Yeah, and sometimes it's to make fun of him and to call him a psychopath in dress shoes around everyone in sneakers. So it's not like always nice things I have to say about Cantlay.
He's like Bo Hostler for you.
No, he's
just every week. It's like, what about Patrick Cantlay?
We haven't done that. I'm the guy you'll make fun of me. He must be playing horribly. I didn't end up betting him last week, but I saw like Connors got to 90, so he must be, that's like guys that have real problems.
At Mayo Experience.
AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am Picks Bets one and done. Jeffrey on the line with me. Did you hit Goddard because he was your one and done last week, so that was a big boost for you.
I did. I had some like prop stuff with him.
I thought you didn't play props.
No, on a light exposure. Firstly, for all the shit I got last week, this idiot savant, didn't come loaded, but all he had was a pocket full of Barners.
It's good. I was glad I was able to squeeze it out of you.
Yeah, there. So, no, just because it was a light exposure golf week. I was so afraid of Scottie. And Goddard was my one and done. But no, 5 years ago, Pat, I would have had like a secret Goddard. But my disciplined ways, I guess, cost me there.
Yeah, see, we were all better off when we were just firing more bets. Because we talked about Goddard. Someone sent me an email this morning. They were like, you got to listen to what you say on the show and actually make bets off that. It's been 2 weeks in a row that I've done it now where I've said the winner, talked myself into the winner. It's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
I'm pretty sure we identified Goddard as like the fairest odd on the board.
We did. We were like, no. What I need to do is bet Cam Young again. When did I start betting Cam Young? When did this happen to me?
So when all of a sudden you're going to bet like the Atlanta Falcons. Well, I guess, you were sharp on them. I don't know. You have gotten sucked into the Cam vortex. I feel silly at the same number, although he was there for most of the week, but shot himself. We were both on Fitzpatrick at the same number as you could have gotten Goddard. Goddard, I think, might have gotten to 40.
Well, I brought it up because there was a boost up to, it was either 55 or 60 when we were doing the show, and I was like, it's a really good number.
Yes,
I was like,
I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure EPAT bet that and a few others. What a great number.
Yeah, so those boosts that appear on these sites aren't always there to take your money. Apparently, they can be profitable. But then I looked at it, I was like, you know what I should do? Bet Brooks again, because he's good.
I mean, I didn't bet Brooks.
Loser.
I made my own loser bets, but it's very easy to feel very dumb today. Because, he has just been a run of form. I saw Joseph, my favorite fried egg fella, Joseph Lamega. He had last week started getting involved in a discourse of, now I don't think this changes major championship outlooks and what we think like someone will win by their 30. But Goddard is essentially everything I and others thought Ludwig would be.
Oh, see, I just kind of maybe because it's not that they look the same, but just when you think about their games.
He's fat Scottie?
No, he's just like good Cam Young.
Oh, because my buddies who aren't like hardcore golf guys, but everyone enjoys, the pre-Super Bowl. And for a while, I thought there's no way they'll get out in time. And then, it could have been wrapped up before 6:00. But they're like, Goddard just looks like fatter Scottie.
That's actually a good call. I hadn't considered that.
But I mean, what a guy. Like when he ran down Rory, went head to head. I want to say run down because they were head to head. He held the line with Rory across the pond last year. We were all just so infatuated and impressed by it. But we didn't know it. Is this not a one-off, but like, okay.
Nice. Good for you.
We have this like golf brain where like anyone can do anything once. How good are you? And then holy shit, how we finished the summer. Holy shit, how we started the year. I mean, it's easy to be like left them off the team for Morikawa, but in hindsight, what the fuck?
Well, at the time we were making, I said, I can't remember who it wouldn't have been. I think it was Cantley that I didn't want there, not Morikawa, just because I felt like Morikawa had the better year, which he did last year over Cantley. But when we took a look at the course, it was like, this guy's kind of perfect for Bethpage. Like, he does what you want players to do at Bethpage Black. He kind of bombs it. He can putt a little bit, although this is another one where it's funny that the greens seem to be speeded up a little bit on Sunday. They got a bit firmer, and he started making putts again. But the slower greens have always been very good to him so far in his career. Just of note. Windy conditions, slower greens, kind of the Goddard special.
Goddard came out, and he was a guy that I would just want to hammer. I mix them up, but like Detroit or Minnesota, just mash for me. Just go out there and mash. I did not see this tier of Goddard, but it's awesome. That shot he hit on 18, holy shit.
I could have used Nikolai Højgaard to make that shot on 18, who somehow got himself back into it. I was like, oh my God, I have a live outright because Hideki might make bogey here. Just get it up and down, Nikolai. It's all good. No. If he had just taken... So, two things. We'll get to Hideki in a second. On hole number 2, Hideki takes the penalty after driving it into the shit and ends up making par because he made every putt from 70 feet yesterday until it finally ran out. His magic beans finally ran out. But Nikolai decides to not take the penalty, keeps it in the sand and hits it into a cactus or something. And I was listening to the radio broadcast at that point because I was bringing the kids skating. And I think it was Will Haskett came on. He's like, I just spoke to the head rules official, and he told me that they had been giving relief from that area earlier. If he had just brought over the rules official, I think he would have gotten relief. I was like, what? You made fucking triple bogey and lost by 1. What are you talking? No. How do you... I appreciate his want to play faster. Nikolai wants to play fast. You can see it when he's out there that Matsuyama's taken fucking forever, and some of it very justified based on what happened to him. But Nikolai's just on top of the ball. He's ready to hit. Sometimes maybe take a pause and call in a rules official if you can get yourself out of jail. Spieth wins the major because he brings over the rules official and they change everything for him so he can win. It was within the rules, but Nikolai probably just would have tried to hit it over the TV tower.
In the final group, despite being splits, you feel like you have extra courtesy when it comes to all the time you want. And I, like you, Pat, I was out and about, before I got my day before first pour. And I heard the radio discussion that I had not heard on TV when I was watching, that there was a chance he could have gotten relief. And what you had mentioned, Haskett had apparently created an identical lie on a different hole, and the rules official told him, I think that was definitely something that should have been looked into. Haskett didn't look at the exact spot with the rules official, but he sort of recreated the spot on a different hole with the rules official he ran into, and the rules official said he should have fucking called us. We could have had a conversation about this. So golf is so stupid in that way. I don't know. Yeah, Phil, Xander. I mean, Xander would have called someone. A lot of these guys. Xander tries to get relief from under a tree.
Well, it's a part of being one of the top 20 golfers in the world and being people who win major championships. Sometimes the skill isn't good enough. Sometimes you need a bit of luck and know how to game the rules to your advantage.
Listen, Mike Vrabel and how the substitution clock, right?
Mike, Coach, yeah.
I'm not going in on last night. But
this is coming. We're doing the Super Bowl recap show a little bit later on. I would like apologies from people who came at me with, all I said was, I don't think Mike Vrabel's that good of a coach. He's very mediocre. I think we saw in the fucking Super Bowl how not good of a coach the coach of the year was. Not going for 2. What are you doing?
Yeah, that seemed weird. I'm like, what sort of nerd math do they have? As
None.
My stone drunk math can't figure it out.
Everyone figured it out. They looked at the score. They were like, why are they kicking an extra point here? What's going on? The only guy in the room that I was with that couldn't figure it out was my friends who we were at his house. His father-in-law was there, who's 70. He was stoned out of his mind. He's like, oh, you always kick the extra point. Then we explained how the scores work. Well, then you need to score 3 touchdowns, not 2 and a field goal. He's like, oh, yeah, why didn't he go for 2? If that guy's on
great understanding of the rules. It's like Billy Horschel in TGL or Patrick Cantley. Know every rule, like know it out. It's always an advantage. I feel bad for Nikolai. I don't know. Golf is stupid in that way. When I heard that, I felt crushed for him. And I have to say, Pat, betting Golf Weekly, it's such like a mental expletive. It is like a mind. And all I do is like ride Thor. And I can't say I wasn't like crushed to see him not win, because I would have been crushed had he won. But now again, we're not getting 60s anymore. We're just going to get like 30s. So he didn't even win, but his number, but like run of 60-1 each week is like gone now. Whatever.
That it is. It's funny that he's the same odds as Goddard this week for Pebble Beach, and we jump to that a little bit later on. But I think this was good for Thorbjornsen. He competed against the best. Like the best guys did filter towards the top, as they normally do in Phoenix. He was one of them. It was his tournament to win. And then I think he stood on 16, was like, oh my God, I'm winning this tournament. All I need to do is just hit it close. And you've seen this happen. I mean, we've been doing this for 12, 13 years now. The young guy steps up, and sometimes you're a ROM. The first time you get there, you absolutely shut the door, and then you become a prolific winner. Most guys, this happens, that the adrenaline gets kicked up, you hit your pitching wedge 190 over the green, and it's just curtains for you. Like you lose control of the stuff that you do well in the first big high-pressure moment you have in this big stage. And weirdly, I mean, part of it is the crowd, but I think the golfers also know that Phoenix is one of the more watched events of the year too. Like there's the extra pressure with all the people there, with the stadium seating, and then you get to 17, there's just globs of people everywhere. But the actual people tuning in to watch you play, outside of the majors and maybe the players, I don't have the like numbers in front of me, but I bet you Phoenix is pretty high up that list just because of the lead-in.
You're probably onto something there. And I hadn't actually thought about that. Obviously, I realized Thorbjornsen was in the lead. And we were long past, first pour, first puff by the time he got to 16 green or 16 tee. But like to sort of have your first ever, holy shit, I'm in the lead. This is a kind of a big event. It's Sunday afternoon. And for that to all happen on the tee at 16, that's like a tough place for like that parlay of things to occur. But you're not wrong. We've seen many young players have late Sunday leads in Phoenix, even specifically, and just like gag it late because it is it's a big place. You almost rather be stalking and have that amazing like chip in that we always saw Brooks do. But yeah, if the Gala didn't like the year Scottie I don't know, I feel like the Gala like gagged the.
He did. The Gala did exactly what Thorbjornsen. He actually made it through 16, then water on 17 immediately. Grace did the same thing when he was trying to run down Ricky.
Oh, thank God that happened.
I was very upset about that as someone with a live Brandon Grace bet that week, because Ricky was up by like 30 at one point during the week. And he gagged it all the way on that like terrible condition Saturday, whatever it was. But should we have the conversation about Hideki right now? Because I went on a pretty big rant about like he just can't win here because he can't drive the ball. And then it turned out that was completely wrong when at one point he was losing 5 strokes off the tee to like total for the tournament. He was second in approach, first around the green, and second in putting. Like I guess if there's a way that you can lose every stroke possible off the tee, that is the path to how to do it. Just be the best at everything else. But it finally got him. Like dude couldn't hit a fucking fairway. It was unreal.
You don't need to hit a fairway when you get up and down from Mars.
And make 60-foot putts on the regular.
Like, that was incredible. He should have been, like, I don't even know. What does, like, the math say on what he should have shot yesterday?
I don't... But like if you just showed someone where he hit the ball off of every tee and got them to guess the score, they wouldn't have been in the realm of what he shot.
It was like a jaw-dropping God mode putting. And then obviously like the chip in, and then even all the other chips. Hideki for Augusta though, no, eh? Like just
no, he can't drive the ball. He can't.
He's got time.
But this isn't new. This was my whole argument.
I agree, but then he found it a bit.
No, he didn't find it. He hit like 3 fairways, and then when it mattered the most, he drove it to the water.
No, I
on
don't
the
mean
hole
he
that
found
everyone-
it a bit this weekend. I mean, like he can find it on and off. But yeah, it's crazy how driving has just been such a issue. But Hideki doesn't strike me as a guy that can like find the in-round fix. Like Rahm is maybe as good as anyone in golf because the swing is so simple at like fixing it in the middle of a round. Hideki just yeah. But I still think like Hideki, I don't want to bet him at like 28-1, but up and down God mode, tight lies.
He's won it before. So obviously, and the approach play has been sterling all year long. And this was by far his worst performance off the tee in a while, but he gained marginally at Sony, which is not, it turned into a harder driving course this year because of the elements. He did pretty well there, but lost. Going back to last year, gained at the Open Championship, lost. And these are like pretty devastating totals. When he doesn't have to hit driver all the time, he's not so bad. When forced to hit driver, it's been a shit show for over a year now. Like he is below field average in distance and accuracy. That's horrible. You can't win the Masters doing that.
No, you will not win the Masters. You will not win the Masters doing that. But in the game of like, pick me like 6-8 guys. You can't bet all of them because like it's only going to be a great player who wins the Masters who like might be able to hang with Scottie at Augusta. Like when they have their best golf for the course, Hideki's on that list.
He is, but I feel like right now, like for him to string that all together for 4 rounds, and he did it for 71 holes, and he wasn't really doing it for 71 holes. He was getting away with it.
You got away with it. Got away with it.
You don't win. You don't win the Masters.
Guys that like the guys that went out with him last. Nikolai, tough break, but Nikolai and Mav like were throwing up on themselves quickly in that round as he was making God mode saves. Like it was a bit of a shit show scene going on there.
I ended up watching because I ended up going to the party, and there were some people who were like very upset that we had golf on and we weren't watching the Super Bowl pregame show. It's like, listen, Højgaard can come back and win. Hideki was Cust one and done, and of course, Cust victory lapping it on like 17, and then boom, over.
I actually would have picked Hideki last week, but he gets first pick. So,
and then you ended up with the winner.
Thank you, Cust.
How stupid was Scottie's fucking chip in on 14?
Oh my God.
Like I can't do no wrong ever.
Did you see the Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton's tweet on the weekend? It like kind of went semi-viral.
No, I didn't. What was it?
It was like, because Scottie has like, I must have been a clip from Thursday where he completely like duffs a tight lie around the green. And like, so much of the internet, when that happens, like one of us. And Kyle Hamilton is like, golf be crazy. In football or other sports, like we make a play that bad. It doesn't matter like what my resume is or like how good you are. It's not like one of us. It's like you fucking suck. And I'm like, yeah, I think he's right. But maybe one day with virtual reality, you could play like free safety and see how hard it is to do anything. I don't know.
It's funny that you say that because it was brought up at our party as well. A guy who doesn't golf, and they said on the broadcast, Hideki has hit 3 of 13 fairways today, and like the shittiest guy that comes on our golf trip was there too. Big Patriots fan. Tough night for him. Sucks to be him. But we all kind of took some glee in that. But he was like 3 of 13 fairways. Like I can do that. And our other friend who doesn't golf and like just watches football and soccer. He's like, golf is the only sport where people see this about the professional ranks. Like, yeah, if someone it's like, oh yeah, I could also do that at the same time.
Well, you're not going to get like tournament conditions, but it is like the beauty of golf is that you can put yourself in, excluding the pressure, like you can create the nearly identical situations.
Like when I hit Bryson's chip on 18 at Pinehurst. I went and put the ball in the same spot where Bryson's ball was, and I tried to make the shot. Didn't go great.
Yeah, like, you're not getting a chance. Like, no one's inviting you to take like a couple at bats versus, like the starting lineup ever. Not
No,
that would go well.
no. It would
And
not.
golf has like that roulette win feel where like I can hit that amazing shot. If you ask me how I did it, I'm not sure. And every pull of the lever is sort of like a new like roulette spin. Like anything can happen. Golf is beautiful. I don't know. I just got a good giggle. Got a good giggle out of that, Pat. I'm trying to think if I have anything else from Phoenix. Other
Well,
than
I have a few more things because I ended up. I'm just looking at the tee to green numbers right now. I had 3 of my bets finish inside the top 10, and Nikolai's did pay his each way, so that was very helpful. It turned into like a break-even week for me because it ended up getting chopped up a little bit because there was a bunch of guys T3. Although the birdie would have got him into the playoff, and I was like, maybe he'll make this putt from off the green, but no, that couldn't work. He rebounded very nicely. He and Cootie are so Cootie, Knapp, and so we got to talk about Siwoo for a second, man. Why can't he putt on Sundays? It's becoming a real and it's gonna happen. And people are still betting Siwoo right now. And I'm sure that even though his odds are crazy low this week, I think he's 4th on the betting board at Pebble. People will bet him, and justifiably so. He's playing so well, and he's going to make all the putts on a Sunday at some point. And no one will have bet him the week that he does it. I'm convinced of it.
Adds up. I mean, we talked about him last week. I would rather have lost 3 points and have taken Hideki last week. So I didn't even consider him. Not that I ended up on Hideki, but when I could have had Hideki for 3 points less, it wasn't even in my thought process. He's now this guy, Pat. It's like old Finau. Like, if he's just contending every Sunday, now, like, Finau didn't win much until he won like a lot of jobber events at a certain point, but if he's going to be in like the final 3 groups every week, like, yeah, he's going to probably win a tournament.
Hey, he's won tournaments. He's won good tournaments before. It's just really strange to see this happen because it's not like putting is good for him ever. But he gets by. He led all players tee to green this week. He was ahead of Goddard, and he lost a stroke and a half putting, which I would guess most of it, if I pull down on the rabbit hole, I think I can go, if I go into his thing, I can go hole by hole. But like, if you just look at his round 4 putting, it was no different than it was at Amex when he was in contention, that he just started missing 4-footers.
Oh, yeah, I heard the real short one yesterday on the radio. Oh.
It was just brutal.
Another great, I mean, what a great part of the season. And now football's over. Like, I don't know.
You're in?
Like, I mean, like, the engine is revved, and now we're going to Pebble. We're going to Riv. Yesterday was great in terms of, like, just golf fan TV for me. Let's go. This is going to be dangerous because I'm prepared to step in front of Scottie with a lot of like next tier players. So I feel like now I'm going to like lose. Not that I've won money yet, but now I'm going to lose some money.
Yes, losing money is all a part of the game. Hitting each ways 3 weeks in a row, helpful. Would like to get a winner because I keep saying I've been a shot off either second place, a shot off winning every single week this year. So I feel like I'm around it. And the dam is going to break, and it's going to come. Just got to stick with what I'm doing, which is like betting Pearson Cootie every week. Cootie's been really good, by the way.
A lot of these guys we like to bet every week. Thorpe, Cootie, Berger. Like, they're all playing really good.
Hoey turned his life around in Phoenix. Still couldn't putt, but everything else was actually pretty good for him. He doesn't seem like he's hurt anymore.
Not gonna lie, like, catch me up. I got no recollection on where he finished.
He finished T24 because he lost over 3 strokes putting, which is nothing new for Rico Hoey. But he had been objectively one of the worst players on tour through the first 3 weeks of the season. And he pulled a WD at American Express with an injury. Maybe it was a real injury, and now he's okay.
Yeah. I saw my boy, Raza's boy, Marty Doe, didn't handle playing with Scottie very well on Saturday, but got away from Scottie and had an incredible Sunday.
Well, what happened? What do you mean he didn't enjoy
like
it?
He got grouped with Scottie on the weekend and like shot 6-0, like was just played horribly.
That happens.
Yeah.
Who else was up there? Straka had another week where Straka was 8th tee to green for the week and lost 3 strokes putting. If he can just find his putter, he's going to win. And there's another guy that I'm probably going to bet this week. I might end up betting Straka too. And hopefully he can just turn his shit around. Because the early bets that I've made for Pebble are, I bet you we're on some of the same guys. If I had
I'm on 2 people already.
I got 3 and they're all 60 to 1 or beyond.
No, then we're not. I haven't really. Okay. Yeah, okay. One of them I'm eyeing.
We brought this guy's name up because I did bet him last week, and I was actually feeling very good about his chances going into Sunday. I was like, if anyone's just going to go and win this tournament, it's going to be Matt Fitzpatrick. But he, too, also couldn't make a putt all week.
Yeah, so I've gone back to Fitzpatrick.
His odds were terrible when I looked at them. They were like 30 to 1. Maybe
35.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I guess it is an elevated event, small field.
Elevated, small field. I feel like it sort of can very much work for him. You know who we didn't actually talk about from last week? And I brought him up because they're just big numbers. And I'm not like putting you on it. Just like he's just been horrible. 160, we mentioned Bhatia. Not that we bet it, but
yeah, I mean, I'm betting it this week. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so that was when I said there's like one north of 60 that I'm swimming. I haven't bet yet, but that would be the guy.
But he was around it too. And again, it's just a lot of guys. Maybe we do give Goddard more of a hard look for Sawgrass because these are like the Sawgrass guys that ended up up near the top again. All the ones who end up playing well there, like Siwoo's a former winner. Obviously, Scottie's a former winner. Hideki, his championship in 2020, doing pretty well, is up there as well. Like Fitz has played pretty well there over the years. We see, I have no idea, again, what it is. And there might be, and no correlation outside like the green type that's going on, but for whatever reason, the cream rises to the top, Geoff, at both these tournaments. It's like kind of the same guys over and over.
So I don't know if like we've officially hit the board or if we're still like mucking around a bit.
No, we need to talk about that guy who got kicked out. The fucking broccoli hair dude.
Get a loser. I don't know. I
didn't know who it is, and then I started looking into him after. So if you didn't see it, some like dweeb paid someone to like yell in Mac Hughes' backswing and then like cried when he got kicked out and like just complete loser type stuff. But dude looks like he makes a lot of money being just an absolute jabroni on the internet. So you want to deface yourself for like millions and millions of dollars? This guy has the path figured out. And I started thinking to myself, like, this guy sucks. I hope someone like beats the fuck out of him, that kind of thing. Like the first things that go through your mind. And then I started thinking like, if this avenue was available to me when I was 17, there's a non-zero chance that I would have done something like that. So I can't hate on the guy too much. Because like this,
I could be mixing
where I was at in my life, like being a just dickhead 17-year-old, that I would be like, this is fucking funny. I'm going to do this, and they'll pay me millions to make people mad. I wouldn't do that now. Obviously, it would have been stupid, but I could see 20 years ago me feeling that way.
I can't speak to. I could be mixing them up with someone else because there's just like maybe a lot of people in this loser genre. But I feel like I've seen this guy like flame out, like hit rock bottom a few times recently with some personal shit. And I remember I think it was one of those like recent Jake Paul fights. So I got like his ass beat or arrested after that. I don't know. He's always looking for trouble. Hopefully he fucking gets his jaw rewired. The baseball bat. I would smile.
You've hit a low point when people are like actively hoping bad things happen to you. There's never a spot you want to be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't want to listen. We're going to be like low for content maybe. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the people want the list of like the top 5 people that I want something bad to happen to.
Maybe that's something for like, once we're really in the dog days of golf and we need some bonus content.
Yeah, no, I was talking more about the other show. But speaking of which, I actually wanted to bring up to Tim his thoughts on like the Players' new ad campaign, Pat.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about this.
Okay, good.
So, do you want to set the stage what Brandel said?
Well, to preface what Brandel said, the Players has like put out a commercial campaign where they've gone back to like calling itself, it like closed with it again, insinuating that it's a major, something that it used to do 20 2025, like and then into like our first bit of podcasting. And then they dropped that for a bit, but now they're back to doing it. And that commercial, I guess, created the talking point where Brandel and others, said that it is a major or as big of a major. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old man. I'm not buying it. It's the players. It is what it is, but it's special. It's important, but it's not a major. Like,
see,
fuck that.
I think you hit exactly how I feel about it as well. It is important, it is special, but it's not a major. It's like when you call yourself the 5th major, does that make the John Deere Classic the 37th major? Like, what's a major, what's not? There are 4. You can't have more than 4 when there's only 4. They should start treating themselves. What's the one that kicks off NASCAR? Is it Talladega that kicks off NASCAR?
No, it's Daytona.
Daytona kicks off NASCAR. That's a really... Like, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things for the rest of the year, right? Like, it's not like you win Daytona, you win the championship. Like, they have playoffs and other shit and other big races.
I see what you're saying. It's like their Super Bowl, but it's like week 1. Like, it's
that is the angle that the players should be going for here, because it's before, like, moving it to March makes it before everything. This is our big showcase for what you're in store for the rest of the year. The Players' Championship, fantastic field, fun for TV course. The best players show up. The best players win. You need to watch this. This is going to set the table for the rest of the year. The best player of the year usually does win the Players' Championship. That kind of stuff. Like, that makes it feel important. It makes it feel predictive and something that you need to see. When you start calling yourself the 5th major, I feel like it takes away from that tournament.
I agree. The only thing that I think could hurt the NASCAR argument is there could be some people that would say, like, winning the Daytona 500 is actually better, or they would rather win the Daytona 500 than the championship. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that could be real.
You could be 100% right about that. I don't know enough about NASCAR. I just know they have a very big tournament, very big race to start the year. I couldn't even remember which one it was. But this is a big, because the Players is really the official kickoff to golf season, right? Like, we have our unofficial ones. Like, I like to say it's the Farmers, because we're out of the preseason type tournaments.
Some people would say this week. Like,
some people would say Pebble. Some people would say Phoenix. The actual start, when, like, noticeable viewer ratings go up and gets treated with the full pomp and circumstance of you can go on the app and you can watch every group, every player, every hole. People are familiar with the course and all of the best players in the world, minus live guys, and I guess Patrick Reed as well, who's like, might as well be the best player in the world at the moment, winning everything he plays. But you get to see everyone together at the same time, and it feeds into the rest of the year. Like, the real golf season for most people exists of 5 tournaments. It starts at the Players, and it ends at the Open Championship. In a Ryder Cup year, maybe they tune in.
Yeah, I kind of think you nailed it there. The problem is, I don't know. I guess the problem is Brandel's argument to me is so fucking disingenuous. Like, because we bring live to it, it's major. Like, no, a production decision doesn't make it a major, you fucker. Like, that is like, who gives a shit?
Is Phil secretly working with Brandel? Because Brandel will say something stupid, and then Phil will come over the top with something like even more insane, and then it makes Brandel look somewhat reasonable.
Golf Channel live should be at the Players. Logistically, it's the same place with what happens at the Masters for how great like app and telecast and access can be, and how they can like create the property for it 100%. But that none of that makes it a major. None of that makes it a major. So, like, I don't understand, because you guys are driving from fucking Orlando to Jacksonville and can be on location. That is like a benchmark for what makes something a major. Piss off.
Phil said that it doesn't count because there's so many good players on live, because he believes that David Puig is top 10 in the world right now, along with Neiman, Rahm, and Bryson. That is an insane statement.
Yeah, it's a pretty insane statement. Phil's gone like, I guess you say he's gone MAGA, but he's gone like mad. Like he's gone off like the deep end.
Yeah, he's like, when you start seeing like your weird aunt post stuff on Facebook, Phil has reached that level.
Yeah, like he's a way better player comparatively to the sport, but he's like gone to like Kurt Schilling levels. We're like, you are a Hall of Famer. You should be a Hall of Famer. Like, you should be like, we want you in every space to celebrate what happened, but you've just been so weird. You make every party awkward now.
Yeah, just no one wants to be around him or associated with him anymore.
Except Lasasso.
Well, listen, when you're getting offered $20 million to hang out with Phil and you're 20, I'd take it too.
I agree. But yeah, he said like the chance to pretty much said the chance to like be on Phil's team was an opportunity he couldn't turn down. As for the players, and I love the internet being like, it's not legitimate if Reed's not in it. I actually see one book that has players odds, Phillip Rivers, and they've put Reed in at 28-1.
They should get him back. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, that's enough. You can come play on the PGA Tour again. Just fucking bet. You're making up the rules as you go anyway. Just let him come back.
Isn't there a Corn Ferry rule? Like, if you win X, you're like automatically in. Like, isn't he already done that pretty much for like? Can't the PGA just say whatever? Yeah, say whatever you want. You've literally earned it. It's undeniable. Let's go. Bring him back. And if any other player on Live does what Reed does, we'll let you come back too.
Yeah,
you gotta do that.
Yeah, you got to be good. You can't just leave and do nothing and then want to come back.
Good. You've got to
win.
You have got to go. You got to go win, and by win I mean like a Rolex Series event, and then go follow it up with another win, and then we'll make a rule for you. Even if you didn't win 5 majors like Brooks, we'll make rules for everybody. But you got to be really good, and you got to win.
And you got to want to come back. Liv is in Australia this week. It will be pretty fun. Oh, that's this week? See, Liv does such a bad job of promoting things.
Well, I think like early they go back to back because the guys outside of like the Australians, I guess, we're limiting in numbers, but they don't want to be like on the other side of the world too long. So I think they like play in consecutive weeks now.
But this is the Liv Major, Liv Adelaide. This is supposed to be their big one. It's the one that people actually pay attention to. I didn't even know it was happening this week.
It is the big one. It is the one where like they'll brag about the attendance and like who wouldn't? It's a great party. Congratulations. And I would go like they're golf fans. The PGA Tour's abandoned them. Like go have a great time. But just because they fill the property this week, that doesn't change like Liv's arrow.
No. Like if that's the only thing that you can point to, that's not good. You need multiple data points, not one. And from what I've heard from most people, that the Liv in-person experience is way better than the PGA Tours.
It's not hard to see why that would be. Yeah. I would have I know for a fact that if Liv was anywhere near me, I'd go and I would have a great afternoon. I do not dispute that part, but that doesn't make a golf league survive.
No. And there is something about the stuffy nature of the PGA Tour that just makes it seem more serious. Maybe I'm the only one on that wavelength, that there is something about Liv that seems unserious.
Yeah, of course. You just like, if there was a Rom, imagine they had a cam, like you could get Rom's face for the whole round. And like the amount of times he has this look of like, what the fuck am I doing here? Because they kind of caught one this week that went a little viral. And then our boy Powers put like circus music behind it. Because like Liv is like the music playing it, whatever. And, he interneted it and replaced it with like circus theme music. And I laughed pretty hard.
Final thing. You'll enjoy this because I don't usually comment on the kits that the players wear. Someone needs to go to Nikolai Højgaard and tell him like he doesn't work at Mark's Work Warehouse when he goes out and plays. He's just wearing like beige on beige.
Yeah, he has like the Jim Harbaugh Dockers collection.
Yeah. Dude, you're like 22. Like you're European in 22. What are we doing here?
It's winter and it's cold, at least where I'm at, and I'm spending way more time indoors, aka I'm sleeping more. If you're like me, it's time to upgrade your sleep and switch to Helix. You'll never go back. I took the Helix sleep quiz. It matched me to the right mattress for how I actually sleep, not how some showroom goober thinks I sleep. And since it's been all restful nights, no tossing, no back pain, and my sleep tracking actually backs that up. My deep sleep numbers off the charts, good, way better than before. We've got more than just one Helix in our house now, too. Just threw one in the upcoming baby's room so I can get back to sleep quickly the moment that the baby goes down. Helix builds mattresses for different people, not a one-size-fits-all nonsense, because that wouldn't make any sense. There's free shipping in the United States and a 120-night sleep trial with a limited lifetime warranty. Go to helixsleep.com/mayo for 27% off, site-wide exclusive for listeners of the Pat Mayo Experience. That's helixsleep.com/mayo. Do it now! Using a VPN is like wearing pants online. All your activity is encrypted and private, hidden from trackers, snoopers, and data brokers. That is why you need Surfshark. Surfshark can help you avoid dynamic pricing by connecting to cheaper locations to save money on everything from flight tickets to hotel bookings. You can change your virtual location to safely stream content from home or unlock regional shows and movies that might be restricted in your current country. With Surfshark, fast connection speeds are guaranteed across their extensive network of servers in 100+ countries. And the Clean Web ad blocker is an efficient feature that blocks annoying ad trackers and malware before they even load, resulting in a faster, cleaner, and safer browsing experience. Secure your privacy with Surfshark. It's completely risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Right now, go to surfshark.deal/PatMayo and use my code, PatMayo, for 4 extra months at checkout. That link and code are in the show notes and description. Pebble Beach AT&T Pro-Am happening this week. It's a signature event, only 80 players, no cut, Spyglass and Pebble Beach the first 2 days, then it's Pebble. For the rest of the time, if you missed the research show, shame on you. That's already out. The article is already up too. If you want to join the email list for the free newsletter article, which I did put out again on Sunday night, Jeff, although most people did not notice because the Super Bowl was going on, that is completely free to do down in the description if you want to go do that. Right now, we're going to have the Scottie conversation again. And last week is why that I don't like betting in the without Scottie market. And listen, he almost won, so he almost got you anyway. But when Blickle and I went through the actual odds of it, like I saw a bunch of people who bet Goddard up last week at 28-1 in the without Scottie market. Like, it was like 55-1 elsewhere. Like double the odds.
Yep. That's the decision you got to make, right? It's tough. It's a mind expletive. But and we spoke about it last week. Like, I was swallowing 4 or 5 points on Cam Young, but when it came to my guys at like 50 or Minwoo at like 80, I didn't want to make that 45-1. So yeah, I agree. But sometimes the math can math for you. But I think in totality, you're probably better off staring down the dragon, although holy shit, he spotted them all, a big first round mulligan, and he still did what he did. And we're now at another, course that can be like a bit of a wedge off, and I'm scared of him. And I shouldn't be at a wedge off, but I am.
You should be. You should be scared of Rory, too, who's in this field, who dominated everyone last year.
Yeah. As you said, everything's been a warm-up. We've tread lightly, kind of been betting down the board. Now I'm going to bet a bit up the board, and I'm going to take these guys on. I'm going to lose money.
If you're going to bet in the without Scottie market, which I think that you should, even when Blickle and I went through the actual numbers behind it, that it did make more sense to bet in the with Scottie market than the without, because they were just penalizing you too much on most people. As we've always said, if you can find like equivalent odds, of course you would do that. That happened last week on DraftKings. Someone pointed it out in the live chat, 8 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday evenings, by the way. So there's good info in there because other people bring up info. That on DraftKings in the first round leader market last week, there was a with Scottie and without Scottie first round leader market, and everyone's numbers somehow were better in the without Scottie market. Xander was like 30-1 with Scottie, 35-1 without Scottie. Brooks went from 45-1 with Scottie to 79-1 without Scottie. Like, whatever they did, they fucked it up. So you should always be looking at it. You should, every time that the board opens, you should look at all of these markets, because some of them simply do not get updated properly, or they get mispriced.
It's there's an element of mispricing, Pat, but I think at the moment what we have is, even with like the high-end tech that these sports books have, golf is still golf, and the derivatives aren't like moving with the main board.
Especially in Super Bowl week.
Especially in Super Bowl week, the traders are so busy. You do worry. It's like, it's only a matter of time before they have like the technological fix where the derivatives move, but it seems like they just have an auto system. And what's funny is we'll get to the like jobber events without Scottie, and the systems are just like creating these without markets, and then it's like the without Ben Griffin market or something when he's the favorite that automatically shows up. But yeah, like you said, you use these boards, you use the markets, try to find something. It's every week, you can spot something. It's just a matter of, is it the guys that I want to actually be betting on? But there's an answer to the questions we're asking. Like, what is he worth? Like, what is that win probability? What is the fair number for a guy at all? Not if he's 30-1 without Scottie, like, what is the number that's fair? What is the number where like maybe I should, and like where is the line where like we shouldn't? And the smarter people know these answers, I think.
That's why I like talking to the smarter people. That's
not
not
like
us.
Blickel for sure knows these numbers. He's not like eye testing it like I am.
Correct. So Scottie's the favorite. He is at coolbet.com. If you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, hit the description, get yourself a bonus, get the fastest payouts in the biz, and mainly some of the best numbers, plus my boosts. When I pick a loser that doesn't win, you get great CLV on that player, although it won't pay you out because my guys never win. Scottie's plus 275. He's up to 3-1 in a lot of spots. Rory is 12-1. Then it's those two, and then it just drops off a cliff, and then everyone else is in the next tier. Do you envision yourself betting Rory at 11 or 12, knowing he's the defending champion? He had a T3 at the Dubai Invitational, and then a worse week the week after. But he's already played twice this year. You just haven't been watching the DP World Tour. Seems like a pretty good number, honestly, in a Scheffler field at a course where we know he can win. He just did it.
So I hate to be annoying, but now I ask the first question: is Rory plus 1050 without Scottie not like fair? Is that like
It's funny. I didn't look at, because you're looking at different books that I am. And I feel like the books that you use just don't pay attention to these markets. And the main one that I use really does pay attention to that market.
Yeah, but the problem is the one that I'm looking at, just because I can like actually log in and stuff, they're not going to let you take them pretty hard on Monday morning. And by hard, I mean some people not at all.
Let's see. Betting with that. What is the Rory number here? Yeah, the Rory number I have is 8.5-1. So I'm losing 75%, 25% of the number.
And that's probably Scottie's win. Scottie's win equity is what, 18%? I'm just at like.
Listen, if I'm loading up to bet Rory, I'm not sweating Scottie. I'm betting on Rory winning.
100%. And if you bet Rory and he's head to head with Scottie, like, sure, you'd love to have like the knowledge of like, oh, this is stress free. But you bet Rory, you're like not afraid of anybody.
No, if Rory's playing his best,
at head to head.
Yeah. Like, what's that head to head priced at? Like, although the win numbers are way off, what is Scheffler, minus 130 in that head-to-head? Maybe minus 150?
Yeah. On a comfort course for Rory. What is Scottie's CV here? Like, last week I was scared shitless because, he just loves that place and happy place. What's Scottie done here?
I believe he ended up like 3 shots behind Wyndham Clark 2 years ago when it got called after 54 holes. I remember he was in 6th place then, and this was his first start. So he was T6 2 years ago in the 54-hole event, and this was because the schedule was different last year because Pebble was the week before the waste management. So this was his first start back after the hand injury last year, and he came T9.
Yeah.
And he played in the U.S. Open in 2019 and got cut.
I mean, I'm not betting them, so I like. Yeah. And if anyone wants to bet them, they're not like don't need to listen to the rest of our show, so we might as well move on, I guess.
Sure, yeah. So Scottie and Rory, double pass on those two.
Rory more tempting, but that's probably. I just can't. I thought maybe there's a chance I was gonna bet Scottie this week, watching yesterday, But then I made a bet last night, and I'm like, I'm not betting Scottie.
Once you don't bet Scottie as your first bet, it's almost like you can't bet him anymore. It's like, oh yeah, well, he's basically a football odd. I won almost as much money betting the Seahawks alt spread than I would have bet on Scheffler this week.
Yeah, but Byron will have a T20, a T40 that pays more than Scheffler. So just bet that. Subscribe to Byron, bet that. You'll win win the money.
I should just be betting like these guys that I bet at 80-1. And listen, I'm not going to do it. I'm not a professional bettor. I'm here to try to like hit a big score, walk away with an 80-1. But if I had just taken all of my 75 to 125 to 1 guys that I bet on every week and just bet them top 20, I'd be up so much goddamn money this year.
The problem is to T20 every one of them, you like won't want to do those small, and then you're just in for so much more before the tournament starts. That's
true.
like right? Isn't that where your head is at with that?
A lot of times, and like, yeah, I'll fling off, $50 on this guy here, $50 on this guy here. I would feel obligated to bet in proportion with what I bet on outrights, which is probably too much for an outright versus like what I bet on a football game.
Nailed it, Pat.
But that's where we're living at. The 20 to 50 range has Tommy, Victor, Siwoo, Henley, Matsuyama, McNeely, Rose, Xander, Ludwig, Cantlay, Goddard, Thorbjornsen, Cam Young, Jason Day, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ben Griffin, Bobby Mack, Jake Knapp, JJ Spaun. That's a big list of guys that we're going through here. Even Dan Berger. Dan Berger he opened at 40. He's back down to 50 now. That's at least an acceptable odd for the guy who has the best. You want to talk about CVs at the Pebble Beach AT&T Pro-Am, Geoff? Never finished outside the top 10 in 3 starts with a win, 5th and a 10th.
Yeah, and we cashed that win. I think someone withdrew, and then we all just like, yeah, love it. I'm happy I was around my computer for that 10 minutes. I love DB. I don't know that I want to bet him against like these guys at the top. You know me, Pat. I can't resist. But we looked right through him last week because it just sort of been a while before I saw you.
You're going to Victor? Really?
I am betting Victor 31 to 1. I bet it last night. I know now it's like 28. Same thing. That was the bet I made. I bet Victor Hovland, and I am going to guarantee you I'm going to bet him again next week at Riv.
I think that Riv is a bet. Listen, he can win at Pebble Beach for sure. He actually played pretty well here as the AM in the 2019. He and Morikawa both played really well in that U.S. Open. Just Riviera fits his game so much more.
I agree, but I'm double barreling.
Okay.
I like he is. I know, just because he had it once doesn't mean he's going to have it again, but Victor, like where I feel like he is feeling it. And man, I was so impressed with his lag putting.
He putted really well. You know what he did not do well in Phoenix was drive the ball, weirdly enough.
Well, we got to fix that. But yeah, so I'm in. That's the bet I made. I was thinking about betting Scottie in the afternoon, bet Victor. That ended that. And I'm not going to lie, Pat, I'm going to piggyback Victor with probably other losers in this tier.
So this wasn't the tier I was talking about, like the next tier of guys down for me.
Yeah, I know, but I kept saying like this is where now, like for the first time, I feel like my losing golf bets for the first time in 26 are going to get expensive.
So the guys that I identified immediately, like Fitz, I can get back on. He's never really played well at Pebble Beach. That does concern me because this is a field course. If you don't putt well on POA, it's going to be a problem. But Henley was the one who jumped out to me, who's having a very good, like his iron year right now through 2 tournaments is better than at any point in the rest of his career. He's just not putting it all together. He's missing a bunch of short putts, which is not something that he normally does. He lit it up on the greens here a year ago, but he's accurate. You want to be accurate here. The irons are absolutely dialed. He's one of the best wedge players in the field. And if the POA putting stays around, he's at 28 to 1 right now. I'm guessing that number goes up when people start betting like, oh, Xander's 28. Let's bet on Xander and crush his number and whatever. Like Henley kind of sticks out to me as the perfect type of player who, we've argued for years, like, is he actually in this tier of the great player or not? At this type of course, he is amongst those players.
I would agree with that. And like you, I think, although I'm swimming closer to Fitz than Henley, I don't think I've ever bet Henley. I'm sort of stubborn. in that way, but I do agree with sort of what's been happening there. This one could make a lot of sense for Russell, and I'm also crazy enough to be like looking around Patrick Cantlay here in the 30s, Pat.
You love Patrick Henley. It's either Henley or Siwoo. Like, why wouldn't I go to Siwoo? Who's
I
playing
don't
better?
remember the last time I actually bet Cantlay, and yeah, I like died on the hill with the Ryder Cup stuff with
Yeah,
him.
but you bring him up every week to talk about.
Yeah,
him.
and sometimes it's to make fun of him and to call him a psychopath in dress shoes around everyone in sneakers. So it's not like always nice things I have to say about Cantlay.
He's like Bo Hostler for you.
No, he's
Just every week. It's like, what about Patrick
Cantlay?
Cantlay?
We haven't done that. I'm the guy you'll make fun of me. He must be playing horribly. I didn't end up betting him last week, but I saw like Connors got to 90, so he must be. That's like guys that have real problems. Losing money on. But yeah, Cantlay just got like I don't know. Hovland and Fitz. I think are the two that I could be just the biggest sucker for this week. In that, like trying to beat Rory or Scottie. Maybe not even getting a fair number. Time to lose money. Yeah.
For me, I would go the opposite way here. Like Henley, Siwoo, Rose has my attention as well. Another former winner at this course. But I think I'm going to pick one or two of those guys and just go down the board and just cobble it together and lose my money that way.
Listen, guys, there's a lot of like lower tier players who I absolutely can see like hanging with these guys this week. Like Pebble's conducive for that.
Pebble is, unless one person does something so exceptionally well that they run away with it. And that's what Rory did with his driver last year. I've never seen anyone ever overpower this course like Rory did a year ago.
Yeah, I mean the round that right, he won Pebble, and then the wedges continued to be marvelous at the Players, and then he won the freaking Masters.
But there was a drive, I think it was on 14, whatever that back nine par 5 is, not 18, the one in the I think it's 14 or 15. And he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit it over these trees here, and he did. He did it at Spyglass the day before too. He just cut off the trees on a par 5, and it's like 100 yards away from the hole.
Oh yeah, oh my god, like that's the problem. If Rory is like on in this goddamn pro-am, like he's just gonna bend this place,
but
like at his will. Like a place like Spyglass, like Rory does whatever he wants if it's not windy or too windy.
It's true. You might get wind. That's always because we've seen some like wild winners at this tournament, albeit before it was a signature event. Vaughn Taylor, Nick Taylor, our boy TPJ. I hit that one. That was like the best bet I ever made in my life.
That
Ted
was
Potter
the worst.
Jr. Staring down your boy DJ in the final group.
That was the worst.
But the difference last year, like just think about this. So I'm looking at the rabbit hole right now. BetSportsGolf.com. Code Mayo if you want to get the discount over there, but I believe there's discounts up on the site. He gained 6 strokes off the tee last year. Second off the tee. Do you know who it was?
Morikawa.
Pendrith, Stevens, Vegas, and they were all over a shot and a half worse for second. Like that gap was huge because you had so those are four pretty big drivers. The top 5: Rory, Pendrith, Stevens, Vegas, and Young. Ditto with Sam Burns, who did pretty well too. Then you're into your like Shane Lowry, Austin Eckroat, Denny McCarthy, JT Poston. This is still a course where accuracy can do a lot of heavy lifting for you if you can bring the rest of your game. Rory also gained 5 strokes putting. He gained 3 strokes on approach. So his putting, the combination of driving and putting was reminiscent of what Bryson did that year in Detroit when that's all he did. He just drove it great, he putted great, and did nothing in between and was still able to overcome. In a field like this, if Rory doesn't spike in both of those things, he doesn't win last year. He like loses to Lowry.
Too bad Sam Burns is playing so bad because he can do those.
He can, but I'm just saying that is so difficult to do that I'm taking the other type of player that I don't want to say is more well-rounded, but has more of a chance to compete at a course this short versus facing Rory at Augusta.
I totally see
Like
Henley, where you're going there. Like that's why you mentioned
There is a path here for Siwoo and Henley to gain as much off the tee as Rory, as Scottie, despite hitting it 30 yards shorter off the tee because they hit every fairway.
Yeah, listen, you mentioned like Henley and Fitz.
Yeah.
So there's a way your betting card is going to try to get around this thing.
I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to get to Fitz. I'm still on the fence about that because
Like there's a player, you'd already like alluded to the player profile that you might be chasing.
that I want. And Berger is kind of like the ultimate type of that guy, like historically. Like small greens, all 4 of his wins have come at the courses with, I think it's this one, Southwind. This one has the smallest green. Southwind has the 3rd smallest greens. And he won at Colonial, which I think is the 5th smallest green. So there's something about small greens. And Mav McNeely and Daniel Berger that just thrive at those type of courses. Mav McNeely being 4th on the betting board is fucking wild, by the way.
Good for him.
Scheffler, Rory, Tommy, Mav McNeely.
I would say this is the sort of place like if I could like find my old Pebble cards, I've probably bet Mav here like 3 of the last 4 years at like 60, 80 to 1.
Yeah, at 60,
right before it was elevated and shit.
If we're getting them at 60, 80 to 1, sure. 20, 27 to 1. Same as Henley, same as Xander, same as Victor. Ahead of Hideki somehow. Is this a go back to Hideki spot? Because he doesn't have to hit driver here.
I don't know. It's Hideki. Trying to think of California Hideki. I guess, yeah, he's done. He's run the Jenny. No?
Yeah, he won it. He won at Riv.
Yeah.
He putted really well at Torrey last time out too.
I like Hideki where I'm not like no disrespect to Pebble, but like, is it hard enough for Hideki to pop?
Yeah, but he can go so nuclear. Like that's like think about the guys that win here over time. They're guys you're like, oh, he had 9 birdies and like Hoagie won here. Like, what's the one thing you think about when you think about Hoagie? It's like, oh, that ability to have some sort of crazy low round. Hideki is most definitely one of those guys. Rory is most definitely one of those guys.
You gotta get like white hot. You gotta get white hot.
Spieth is one of those guys who's won here. Like, what I'm not doing is like Thorbjornsen, Ludwig. Something's wrong with Ludwig. Even Cam Young here, maybe that's a mistake. Like Bobby Mack has never really putted well on POA. Like he'd be the one that I could start thinking about. But Thorbjornsen at 35, like no thanks. Knapp at 45, no thanks. They're playing good golf. I don't think that these are the courses where they profile super great, honestly.
Yeah, you'd rather pay up a bit for your profile, but you're not wrong. I mean, even a lot of Cam Young money last few weeks. Now you can get him at 40 to 1. I don't know.
Now I don't want it. Now I don't want it. Give him to me at 20 and I want in. 40, no thanks. And he won at one of these short courses with small greens at the Wyndham.
How shit has Pendrith been?
I don't know.
He was horrible last week.
He was in the field last week?
No, I meant whatever was before last.
Oh, at the Farmers.
Farmers. Yeah.
50 to 1 and up. Akshay Bhatia, 60 to 1 with 8 places. Your boy, Alex Noren, 80 to 1, 8 places. Oh. Aaron Rye, 100 to 1 with 8 places are the 3 bets that I've made in this range.
Yes. Talking my talk there. That Noren shout, and won't take much for me to get in on Bhatia. But yeah, when I looked at the board this morning, first things that Noren and like Connors is like sitting right in front of 100.
You want to take Connors at a putting contest?
No, but I'm saying like the books know because like Corey Connors is like 100 to 1.
Listen, Connors
96 to 1.
If Connors shows his face at like Cognizant, good call. Maybe even in bad form at Bay Hill, where he tends to play really well. I could see it.
I'd probably rather bet Harry Hall at 80 than Corey Connors or any of those guys.
This week, I actually would, even though I hate Harry Hall. But yes, I would.
Yeah, you can't bet Connors. Like even a guy like Gerard, you're gonna bet Gerard here.
So Gerard may have leveled up. I think is the debate here. He's just been so good.
He's been incredible, but is he gonna win a putting? I mean, there's money to be made on Gerard. He's consistent. He's good.
Well, there's two.
I go right through him when trying to find a guy who's going to hit putts.
There's two ways to spin this. Is one, these greens are super hard unless you're good at putting on them, as we've seen throughout the years. That good putters can be bad here, bad putters can be good here. There's just a lot of short misses at this course. Now, I don't know if Gerard has ever played Pebble Beach. Maybe he's one of these guys that just has an ability to make some putts. Like putting on Poa, it's 10 rounds. He's a quarter stroke positive per. He loses on every other surface. Like get him on bent, guy can't roll in a putt. However, over the past little bit, like at the Farmers, he gained in 3 rounds. He gained, let's see here, total 4 strokes putting. At the American Express, he gained 3 strokes putting. In Sony, he gained 1.2. He's gained bigly on the greens so far this season. I don't know if he's fixed, but like he was losing like 5 per round. He was basically Rico Hoey.
Huh. You don't want to be that.
But maybe he's just, it's almost like we still think of Griot as a really shit putter, but he has solved most of his putting issues. And sometimes it takes us a while to catch up. Like when we just could not believe that Webb Simpson was the best putter in the world because he had been so bad for so long. He fixed whatever it was, and it worked, and he started winning. We were late to the party. Adam Scott, another great example. A guy who could not putt and then figured it out. Scottie. I think Scottie might be the best example. He's great at putting now.
Oh, it's not fair.
I know. It was better when he sucked at putting. It would gag away these wins.
It's honestly like, oh, it was so much fun. It was so much more fun when he had everything but the putts, and he was just like the highest end version of the guys I like to lose money on.
Speaking of which, do you know who is playing in the magical Kenya Open this week besides the Kabuki Man?
I have not even opened it, and if you made me guess, we'd be here a while.
Well, I just kind of gave you an out.
Kabuki Man?
The Kabuki Man. He's I think Kenya is this week. Maybe it's next week. But just I saw someone say that this guy was in the field for Kenya because Patrick Reed was not in the field, but this guy is coming over from the States and playing in the magical Kenya Open.
Someone is coming.
Who fit the profile of the guy that you just kind of talked about. The losers that we used to lose money on who couldn't putt.
Luke List?
That's the guy. Nailed it.
I gotta get enough. Give me enough. Let me far enough down the road. I couldn't miss.
Let's see. Are they off this week? Kenya Open?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's happening.
Yeah, it's Kenya Opens next week. There's a bye week on the DP World Tour. I guess they're leaving the Middle East now, and they're going to Kenya, South Africa. And then it's still in South Africa. I don't know where the Hainan Classic is, but that's in March. And then they're in India. They're at the part of the season when all the good players come over to the States. So they're like, yeah, we'll fucking play in Africa. And you can't really play golf in Europe right now, I don't think, outside probably the south of Spain. Bad time for the Scandinavian Masters, put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's Winter Olympic season.
Where is this? Is this in Japan or Korea? Where the fuck is this? It's all
Where do you look?
The Blackstone course. It's for something like a month from now. Henan Island. Maybe it's in China. Okay, so it's the China Open, I guess. Anyway, that's what's going on the DP World Tour. Follow Sky and Tom for more in-depth breakdowns who actually know what's happening on the DP World Tour. Back to this. Cust has made JJ Spaun his one and done.
What? Like what? Like, I mean, sure. It's just like off the withdraw, elevated event. I mean, like he's just like, let me take anyone because it's no cut.
I guess like this is the part of the season when you start using real guys. This is what got him into trouble last year, and you're way ahead of everyone right now. So, and his Hideki, I lost somehow. See who came in third, and I gained the least amount of money last week.
That's crazy. What a roll for we picked the fucking podium. Holy shit.
1, 2, 3 on the board for the one and done.
That's
I lost.
really impressive.
Yeah, it never happens. Probably will never happen again.
That has never happened ever.
Did we look straight through Tommy?
We didn't talk about him.
He was bad in the Middle East.
He was bad. He like no-showed the Middle East, and he lives there. So you think there's nothing really to get acclimated for. He knows the courses. I was pretty surprised about that. I do want to mention, Pat, it was great taking in some other golf content last week that I noticed a couple other people mention over like Xander. Xander might have a little bit of Xander might put on some pounds.
He did
Drinking some colas.
he did seem a bit more rotund than usual. He was so skinny.
Yeah, I just the slightest little punch I saw over like short putts. Like, whoa, Zandy.
Jeff out here fat shaming people.
And no, we did this last week. I'm just observant. That's all. That's all. And good for him. Maybe it'll do him good. I think he's a dad now. We all know what that's about.
I know how that goes. It's tough to keep the pounds off when you're scooping up like, oh, that McDonald's you didn't eat looks pretty good. Let me have some of those fries.
Yeah. Geez, that was story of my Saturday. Where are we here? Did we cross 100 to 1, or there's few guys that can actually win? It's all the same.
So, like, Harris English is 50 to 1, maybe even longer in some spots. Shane Lowry, who was second here last year, this is the type of spot. It's how I ended up on Noren in a weird way. That, Noren's won at Wentworth. He plays these coastal courses really well. You don't need to be long. He can putt on POA. He putts on slower greens. These are slower greens. That everything kind of lined up. I was like, instead of betting Lowry, I'll bet on Noren instead. But he's right there. Morikawa is 50 to 1 right now. I mentioned Straka 2 weeks in a row. Straka's tee to green has been immaculate this year, and he hasn't made a putt. When he putts, he's going to win.
Yeah, and these tiny greens, it only accentuates his advantage. Noren and English and Day just seem very like I'm not betting them, but boy, do they seem like guys that are going to spoil something.
Day for sure. Day always plays well with this tournament. Like, he is the safest one and done pick on the board if you need like a T8.
Yeah, maybe off my win I could.
You do get first pick here. If we're just looking at like POA specialists, Denny has historically played really well here. And then you got Spieth at 66 to 1. Spieth loves this course.
Whatever.
He also loved Phoenix, and I think he missed the cut. So Nick Taylor loves this course.
Dude.
Nick Taylor won at this course. Beat Phil. He was paired with Phil in the final round and beat the shit out of him. And then Phil was like Nick Taylor, top 10 player in the world.
Has Spieth made a cut yet?
I don't know. I don't think he's only played 2 tournaments. For all the talk there, Spieth is playing a pretty busy schedule. He's played twice. He's played 4 rounds.
Well, it's been early, and I think he might have been. Has he not played 3 times?
No, he played Sony and he played last week.
Well, Pat, it's going to take a lot of reps at 2 rounds of tournament.
I know. So, he needs these no cut events have to help him out a bit.
Who's having a better year right now, Spieth or Vijay Singh?
Vijay, actually.
Vijay's probably pursed a little more, but that's Spieth gets to play this week, so it's Spieth. I saw Matt McCarty got kicked out of the Aon top 5 when we all bet him, I guess.
No, I thought he ended up coming in 5th.
Oh, okay, so maybe he held that at the end. I got lost in the football then.
He got bumped, but although Hisatune made that putt on 18, which I think may have gotten him in. I know. I just knew it was Cootie and Knapp. I think were the two that like stood out to me. Yes, it's Cootie, Hisatune, Knapp, McCarty, and Patrick Rogers. Because Putnam, I wanted to bet Putnam this week, and he fell out. And no, because Nikolai had it. If Nikolai, I believe, had gotten into the playoff, and not just because there were so many guys tied for 3rd, that if he had got it, he would have got in. And Thigala just kind of no-showed. Oh, and Thorbjornsen. Thorbjornsen that's what it was. When Thorbjornsen was in 1st, he was in. And then when he came like 7th or whatever, he got kicked out. But I guess he is in. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they haven't updated this page. How is Thorbjornsen in this tournament then? Is he a special exemption?
I don't know. Oh my God.
What? You having a heart attack?
Okay. We're on a lot of the right places. I'm just looking at who Baroff picked.
I bet you he picked Akshay.
He picked Akshay, Straka, Fitz. He's got all these with the placings. Henley, Hovland.
I have all of mine with the placings. I don't have Henley, though, with the placings. I haven't bet it on
Henley, Hovland, Fitz, Straka, Baccia. Yeah. John Rahm 5 to 1 makes sense, too, probably. I only bring up Baroff because I think he wins a golf bet every week, so better off probably listening to him. I feel flattered when I agree with him.
100 to 1 and beyond. Is there anyone here? You know who kind of fits the mold of guy that gets insanely hot? Is Kitayama. Coastal course, too.
Coastal
And it's one,
merchant.
and it
You
has
call
one.
Bocce a coastal merchant.
A slow green merchant.
Kitayama.
Like the
Is he
approach
above
play has
100 for
been
you?
awesome. He was really good last week. He missed the cut at the American Express, but his approach play was good there. I mean, he just doesn't putt sometimes. And that's what you're going to have to live with. But I wouldn't say he's a prolific winner. He's never putted well here, so that's an issue. But he went into Bay Hill and beat everyone. I mean, he didn't beat everyone at 3M. He just beat who was there, but he won that too. And he gets incredibly hot.
The scary thing about this tournament is I maybe need to take a deep breath because, like, as I'm sitting here now, like, I'm really not afraid of Scottie or Rory.
And you should
that,
be.
Like, is not that could cost me, so I need to just breathe a little. And even Tommy doesn't seem like he's in the greatest form.
True.
I'm not putting Tommy with those two is in itself like egregious, and I'm rolling that back.
Could I sell you on a guy who's never played here before, yet in 3 starts this season, he's been T4, T13, and T18?
How many guys have been playing that well and never played here? It was Michael Kim? Who are we talking about?
Jacob Bridgman.
You know, in doing this, my screen, not many guys have flashed like their odds getting shorter, but his have slightly this morning.
I see him at 100 to 1 right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing 125. I don't know if that still exists, though.
Yeah, 110 is the best number in market right now I can find.
What's the just the form, I guess?
Yeah, the form, and like to think about the type of player that he is. He's not long off the tee. He's relatively accurate. He's a very good putter. That if you're going to take someone from this far down, obviously I'm playing the placings along with them. But like, what do they do well? Like everyone's just gonna bet Patrick Rogers this week because he got himself into the field. But like, I'll pass on that. He's played well here in the past, but. Like, what do these guys do better than anyone? It seemed like Marco Penge. If Marco Penge drives the ball like Rory did last year, he could win.
Yes, if he drives the ball like Rory,
Which is the one
drives the ball like
that's the thing
Rory.
that he
Couldn't
does,
Michael
though.
Block win?
Yeah, but Marco Penge is one of the people who can drive the ball like Rory. He's like one of the 5 people in the world who can do that.
Without like without making a mistake here, does that mean like I can look back at Minwoo Lee then?
I mean, if you want to, sure. But like, he can't hit an iron. I don't know if
that's
Penge can either, but Minwoo is 50 to 1 and Penge all of a sudden is 125 to 1.
125. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'd like to see him have a nice week. I'm already out of money by the time we're here. The Gala's 140, just in terms of like.
Shocker how that flipped on us after we spoke about it last week. Like, what the hell is Bhatia doing 2 to 3 times the odds of Thigala when he's better? And I flipped. Now I'm betting
Certainly
Bhatia
did.
at the shittier number. We'll see how it works. Griot, Hoagie, Glover. Like, Glover was, I think, 4th here last year. Like, that type of guy still can exist here. Accurate, pinpoint with wedges. Hopefully you make some putts. Griot's that guy. Hoagie's that guy. And Hoagie has won this tournament in the past. And I don't think he's playing all that poorly either. All right, we're running out of steam. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's just like all these names. I just think I'm like losing money where I initially thought I would lose the money.
So Hoagie he's been good in 1 of 4 tournaments he's played so far this year, but it was at the tournament that I would say looks the most like this. Like, he was okay for like 2 rounds at Sony, then he kind of fell off. American Express, he came T8, and that is a point and click type tournament, and go make some putts. He has gained in putting. I don't want to say it's every round this year. He has gained in every tournament this year that we have like weighted stuff for. He was really bad round 4 at the Farmers. That's not a course where you would ever expect him to be good. But yeah, I think in every tournament this year, he's gained strokes putting. And he's only lost in 2 separate rounds. I mean, Hoagie, point and click tournament, make some putts. Let's go.
Hoagie is a point and click putter.
And he's he holds the course record at Sawgrass because he goes crazy. Is Wyndham Clark done?
Define done, because there's like that can mean different things.
He is, where is he at here?
80 to 1 I saw.
80 to 1. So he's in like the realm
of Seb Straka, Kitayama, Norin, Pendrith, Morikawa, Lowry. There's a chance that he is just like the super version of like Johnny Vegas. And he had like an amazing 18-month run, and he's actually more like the guy that he used to be than the guy that he was for that like brief stretch. Like he just got hot, capitalized, and that was it. And is mad he didn't go to live.
Agreed. Hey, listen, a lot of these guys should be quite pissed. Like, I don't know who that is, but like, just like take an example, like Corey Connors. You think like Corey Connors, like in terms of like gonna win $40 million from like performance? You know how many golf tournaments that would be?
I feel like there is zero chance Corey Connors was offered a live contract.
I'm just like guys of that. They offered a lot of guys. I'm just saying like guys in that like skilled tier.
Sure.
And now you see guys come back with a penalty, but fact of the matter is, you know, to come back with a penalty, you have to have some equity.
Well, you say that, but like, what do you get for the FedEx Cup? What were the FedEx Cup bonus payouts last year?
Yeah, these guys all got paid. These elevated events, no cuts.
Like Connors came second last year at Eastlake to Tommy, didn't he?
Okay, yeah. So then that'd be a pretty big payout. I don't know. Was it second in the Tommy coronation? I
believe he ended up coming in second, which would have made him what, like, I don't know, $5 million or something.
Yeah, you're right. So, you know, they really have, I guess, reformatted it to just give these guys, you know, throw cash everywhere at these guys.
And coming back, like if Brooks gets hot this year, like for 5 years, he can't participate in those bonuses. So like Scheffler won $18 million even without winning Eastlake. You know, Brooks could win $18 million by doing that, but he wouldn't get the $18 million. So there is some penalty, I suppose.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh. That's a pretty big penalty.
Yeah, especially if you play well.
I don't know. Hopefully, who's the next guy to come back that anyone would give like half a shits about or more?
It's Bryson or Rahm next year, I would feel like. Like Rahm's contract, I believe, expires at the end of like this year. And
you call me like a fanboy, but you don't think I get like it wouldn't move a needle necessarily. Like
if you're gonna say Neiman, no one cares.
But they would create a pathway for him.
Maybe. It would be more. It would look more like Patrick Reed's pathway than Brooks's pathway. Put it that way.
Of course. Like
Brooks, they will.
Brooks is 5-time major champion. He gets his own rules, and they're allowed to do that.
Reed's a 1-time major champion. It's not like he's some scrub. He's accomplished far more than Joaquin Neiman has.
But you think like Hatton and Neiman would have different requirements?
I think that Hatton would actually get a leg up on everyone because he's buddies with Rory and like he's a part of that gang. That they would let him and Rahm come back, no problem.
See, okay, that's you nailed it. Hatton would get a leg up because he would probably be a package deal at the same time as Rahm, if that did happen. So you're right. He'd get a slide in. You know, it's like Buddy opens the door, and then you see people sneak on the subway, like when the doors open in front or something.
Yeah. You take a lot of subways?
No, I mean like fair steal. No, I don't. Let's not. No, move on.
When was the last time you took a subway?
Okay, so it was more recent than you think, but it was also really embarrassing. So it was during. I may have gone downtown one of the times on for Game 6 of the World Series, but it had been so long. I wasn't really I had to like message my group chat like to figure out like how to get in. Like I didn't know normally that last time I was in, it wasn't I was impressed that I could just get in by tapping my phone. But I was like confused on how I'm supposed to enter this place. And that's embarrassing, and I can admit that.
You live I live in a city without a subway. So the chances of me having used the subway in your city over the past 2 years is probably like a 20-to-1 ratio. Because I use it every time I come up.
I agree.
That's how I get around.
He's been on the subway more than me, and he's been in the city even less. Because he like did a whole jaunt when you guys were in town.
Cust was able to figure out how to use the subway. Think about that for a second.
Listen, when it wasn't until the summertime where I went to Union for the first time in years, and let me tell you, people, I used to be on a pillar in Union Station. What do you mean, like a pillar? I mean this huge, like I can't even, like a pillar, like that keeps the building up. That was a picture of like me waving a flag at a Leafs game in like 1999. So I knew Union Station. 1999 is like 25 years ago. And I was blown away by the renovations. I was like, holy shit, this is like the nicest place in Toronto. And I walked through there with Tim. So that was a lovely morning.
The renovations, they started those renovations before I was leaving. Like during the time that I was moving out of the city back here, that's when they were starting those renovations. And they did turn out very nice.
Don't worry. They spent like 30 years building a LRT that moves. You can walk faster than.
Has that even opened yet?
Apparently, and people like can walk faster than it. It doesn't go at speeds. What a shit show. This city, I guess every major city's got its shit show. Pat, we've got this whole, I don't know if you've seen it on the news. It's like national news. The police scandal.
Sure.
We've got police here who are giving information about other police to organize crime to like kill them.
Sounds about right.
To paraphrase, like the insane, like 9 Toronto police officers that got arrested last week.
I would like to know, and I feel like this is the thing, because the budgets of cities are generally controlled by either a state or a province or the federal government, whatever it might be. It's not like cities generate any money. Like property taxes, essentially all they got, that and speeding tickets. Is there any city in the world that is well managed? Outside of like...
Probably not, but I could fix the budget in 2 weeks.
You say that though, but are you going to start laying off like 20% of the city?
No. What I will do though, Pat, is park. They don't even have to be like the good police officers. I just mean the competent ones. I would park police officers at stop signs all throughout affluent neighborhoods. And just stop sign tickets all day.
Yeah, you want that? You know what I'm not going to do? Donate to your campaign anymore. I'm going to call the mayor. I'm going to say, I'm pulling out all of my funding till you get these assholes away from me. That's what you do in affluent neighborhoods.
I don't know how that works.
That's how it works. That's exactly how it works.
I don't mean like, okay, all neighborhoods. I don't just mean like the superstores, like any like half decent neighborhood. The amount of like, you just see it, like I walk the kids to school. It's like, they could solve anything in the city by just clipping these people. And
Quick
sure,
pick.
we take the manpower, but like, you know how many do you know how many tickets you can write by just enforcing the goddamn rule?
I don't think that's doing anything though. It's not like that's creating a bunch of money for the budget.
I'm just telling you, you could have a surplus in a month.
Quick picks for...
Wouldn't solve everything. It would solve a lot. Quick picks. I'll be super quick. Vic and Fitz.
And I got Akshay 60 with 8 places, Norin 80 with 8 places, Rye 100 with 8 places. That's where I'm at right now. We'll talk it throughout the week. I got my show on Tuesday. Obviously, Keith will be on the line on Wednesday. We'll do the live show. I'll have the newsletter right up as well. I'm floating around Henley, Siwoo, Fitz, Berger. Those are the 4 that I'm floating around. Obviously, 2 of those are inside 30. I want to see what the numbers do a little bit, and that's where I'm going to be at. One and done picks. Cust's pick Spaun. You won with Goddard last week. Took a huge lead. Huge. Who are you going to take?
Yeah, I think you led me to it. I'll just drink from that water. I'll take Jason Day. I actually don't want to burn someone like yet. So Day.
Why is that?
Like we're only in a 3-man contest. I just came off a win. I really trust Jason Day is going to do what I need him to do here. And some of those other guys, that next tier of player, like a lot of them aren't playing well. And the reason I picked Goddard last week was just like, I'm going to ride this for him. He's playing well. I'm still going to catch something I won't regret. The guy won. Day's not quite that, but it's along the lines of now that I'm emboldened off the win. I feel like I can get exactly what I need out of day.
All right, I need to take a look at who I've used so far. I have used Rye, Griffin, McNeely, and Siwoo. I'll take Russell Henley as my one and done.
That was who I was debating between, but I figured there's going to be another spot for me and him. But again, I'm horrible at this.
You would be. I moved because I had Goddard as one of my 4 picks for my 4 teams in the Mayo Cup, and I went up to like 200th place immediately. So you'd be, if you'd used Goddard in the big one and done, if you did, like, you should be up pretty high.
Yeah, no, this is like the highest I've probably ever been in my lifetime in any official one and done. So let's keep it moving.
So you did use Goddard in that one?
Yes.
Oh, the major season one and done. The $25 contest is now up at fantasygolfchampionships.com. I know that because I just logged onto the site.
I was gonna say I'm not in that, but it seems brand new.
It is, yeah. I think it just popped up today. We have a new type of game coming soon, by the way, up at the site. So that should be fun. I assume yours is under what's your name under? It's not under G Fienberg 17?
No, it's under my cut. I'll find it for you.
I just wanted to see where you're at.
Let me get it.
Is it under Jeffy?
Heffy.
I'd just like to know where you're at. I think that'd be fun.
I'll send her to you.
All right, cool. You don't want anyone knowing your secret internet names?
No, it's my, yeah, you'll find my burners if you get my one and done. No, my cousin did all the signups.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, having Goddard, that's been like kind of the pick so far. Like when you take a look at the top of the leaderboard, he's the win that most people have got. So that's where we're at. Rate and review the show, audio-wise, Spotify, Apple. Sub to the channel while you're here. Smash the like. You know, if you got anything to say in the comment section, stuff like that always does help us a ton to create engagement. You will see Geoff and I return Monday evening for the Super Bowl recap show, plus Geoff's fan team rankings, Cust, Jets QB list, and we got it all for you. Some Judge Cust, some Cust Corner. It'll all be there, so stay tuned on Mayo Media Network, all right? I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!